Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you guys are doing well. The question that I have for you is the US Mint manipulating the number of privy marks that are going to be available? We're going to be talking about this today, and I want you to keep in mind this question. Okay, we got a couple things we're going to do beforehand, but this is going to be the meat and potatoes of today's conversation. First, let's go through the formalities. Say hi to everybody. Hey, Kevin Rose, good to see you. Scotty Aquati, hope you're doing well. What's up, Chew? Darren Ottman's in the house. Siren. Again, the question that I have for you today, what we're going to be talking about today is the U.S. Mint manipulating us on the number of privy marks that are actually going to be available to the public on October 15th. Now, I have a very specific reason for asking this question. I'm going to be showing you guys some stuff, and I want your feedback. I want to have some general discussion. Please feel free to talk in chat. If you're going to get a hold of me and you want me to answer something or you want to ask and discuss it, do me a favor, tag me, do at Frostbite Coins. It should come up. If you're on your phone, you're going to have to type in the whole thing. Just type in caps. Let me know that you're trying to do it. That'll get my attention. But we're going to be talking about that today, and it's something that I really do appreciate people like ATS and Tiger Stacker and some other people for talking about these things, helping me to go through it, walking through this with them, and then sending me links and stuff like that to be able to further investigate some of the stuff that we're seeing on various pages. Okay. The first thing that I want to do, though, the first order of business is I want to check on my brothers and sisters in Florida, and I want to check on the folks that are in North Carolina. So if you guys are in or around that area, please do me a favor, put in the chat how you doing. We're doing well. Everything is good. If you guys need stuff, reach out to us. Let us know. Because again, this is about community, right? When we look at the general gist of what we are and who we are, community first, and that's what really, really matters. All right, so let's go ahead and say hi to Kevin Rose. Oh, you came in on the other side. Shift Kicker, what's going on? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. It's very, very good to see you here. I'm sure Eric probably won't be popping up today because of the hurricane and the aftermath, and they probably have tons of stuff going on. But let's go ahead and start with the discussion. So the question that I have, and I'm going to be sharing my screen, and I want to go over a couple items. And again, when we look at some of the things that I'm going to be showing on my screen, I want you guys to ask yourselves a couple questions. Number one, I want to ask. Oops, I clicked on the wrong button. I want you to ask, what could the underlying premise of this be? What is it that we're actually looking at? And I'm going to swap these. I'm going to put this over here, and I'm going to be showing you some of these things. So again, I want you to just kind of be cognizant of this. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Let me stop sharing the screen. Let me move this over here. Let's go through this one more time. Okay. No, that's not what we want to see. This is what we want to see. Okay, so let's go ahead and shift those two. Make this bigger. Sorry for the delay, folks. All right. So here we are. We have this up. Hey, Eric, what's going on, bud? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Chuck Stacker, good morning. Hope you're doing well. So, you guys know that on October 15th, the Flowing Hair, the 230th anniversary silver medal is coming out. Now, we talked about this last week with Paula and I. We talked about kind of the general gist of what's going on with this particular coin. And you know that 1,794 of these are going to have this really cool little privy mark. But I want you to look at this eBay listing from the Patriotic Mint and tell me what you guys see. Because when I was sent this, the first thing that came to mind is What? I don't want to give you the answer yet. But again, it was a little bit of a concern because I'm going, I have problem with this. Not quite sure how to handle this. There were a couple things that we've listened to, a couple topics about it on Discord. I listened to a little bit on it in regards to some of the stuff that was happening on eBay. There was another group, and I don't want to pull up my email right now, but there was another group that was having a discussion in which somebody was like, "Hey, I've got a problem with this." And the more I looked into this, I was like, you know what? I kind of have a problem with this myself, and I want to get your guys' feedback on this and see what you guys all think. Hey, Eric, I hope you're doing well. So Eric came in. How are you doing? Can you just put into chat and I'll relay to everybody else on both sides. How are you guys doing down there in Florida? Eric Byer just stopped in on the other side. Want to take just a second to check in with him. You guys doing okay? How are you guys doing? How's the house? You guys doing all right? You guys pretty much got a beeline. The hurricane had dropped by the time it hit you guys, but man, it was still a pretty hefty duty storm by the time it ran over the top of you all. So let me know. I'll go ahead and copy that. I'll post that in on the other side so that people can see what's going on. Eric said he's going to send you a package on Monday for Ant. Outstanding. That's so cool. I'll go ahead and check back in as he posts up information. But just let you know that we're praying for you, bud. Hope all is going well. If you need anything, you got my number. Please reach out. Lots of cleanup, getting things put back together. Just time. Yep, I got you. Did you have a lot of damage? A lot of trees down? Hopefully, no more issues with the fence. I know you just finished rebuilding the damn thing. So hopefully you're doing well. Anyway, keep me informed of what's going on, and then I will continue to pass on the information. Appreciate you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Again, let me know if you need anything. What's going on, Neil? All right, so nobody's put anything in chat. So I'm going to go ahead and just answer this. The problem that I have with this is you can see that it's the 230th anniversary with Privy Mark. All right, Darren Ottman, I have 4 trees down here. Hopefully they didn't land on the house. That's the big thing. So hope you're doing well down there in Florida, Darren. Got power, net back, cell service is bad. No big damage, just gutter and soffit. Oh, that's good. That's good. Not a ton of damage. Awesome. That's great. No, it's not that it's not silver, Scotty. So the issue is, okay, so if you guys don't know what's going on, let me go to the US Mint. So the first thing that's important is for you guys to understand the what's going on at the US Mint. So we're going to look at the 24 product schedule, and we're going to come down here to October 15th. Now you can see October 15th happens. It's going for $104. Now that should be something that you should see, right? You should look at this. And so first off, I want you to look at the price. So let's go ahead and go back to this one. Look at the price. Yeah, so major issue. Now I'm going to show you something else that's really going to kind of freak you out, and I'm really concerned about how they've done this, because I think that they're misrepresenting the amount of these that are going to be available to the public. I think I've given them to some people. We'll kind of go through and talk a little bit about this. But this is basically the setup that you have here. You have a replica, a reproduction of Robert Scott's 1794 flowing air design. There's 1,794 of these. Okay, there's 75,000 mintage. But in the 75,000 mintage, there's only 1,794 of these that are going to have this privy mark. Now, as you can tell, the pictures on the other page are just copies of this, right? There are screenshots of it. You can tell the quality is not nearly as good on this one. If you look at the privy mark, you can see the quality is not quite there. It's pretty close, but it's not quite the same. But it definitely is just a take of this particular shot. Again, of this, 230 of these are going to have a certificate of authenticity signed by the Mint director, Ventris Gibson. Now, here's the question. These are not supposed to come out until Gremlin. What's up, my number two? Hope you're doing well. These are not supposed to come out until the 15th of October. Now, granted, we know from the release of American Silver Eagles and other things like that, that the bullion manufacturers and stuff like that get copies of this ahead of time. So we know that some of these have gone to early grading. This is just standard practice. But the question I have for you is there's 1,794 of these with a privy mark. Now, when you look at this, the problem that I have with this one is that this person is guaranteeing one and they're guaranteeing delivery 6 days later. Now, here's the problem. If they are going to guarantee delivery of one of these 6 days later, right? I mean, you're going to be purchasing these on October 15th. It's going to take the Mint a couple days to get these out. The question that I have is, are there a number of these already in private hands? Are they already with certain companies? Are they already out there? Because if that's the fact, then the U.S. Mint is totally misrepresenting the number of privy marks that are going to be available to the public on October 15th. Now, I know that they would argue, and I'm going to go ahead and do this real fast, just so that you guys can see my face. Not that this is something you really want to see. Let's do this. All right. And then we'll get back to this. All right. So the one thing that I want to kind of look at when we're talking about this is, if this is the case and they actually have these, how many of these are actually available to the general public on October 15th? So I want you to think about odds ratios, and I want you to think about the likelihood of being able to get one of these when you're dialing in on the 15th. I seem to be cutting out, so maybe I will turn off my camera and just show that screen. So I apologize for cutting out. So again, if you're looking at this, number one, before they've even been released, people are already selling them for a markup of, 9 times their value. So, or 900% their value, right? It's just, it's unfathomable. I can't believe that this would be out here. I can't believe that they would be doing this. I thought this was going to be something that was going to be a general item for the, and I'm going to do this because this is going to drive me insane. I just want that up there. All right. Are there going to be a number of these that are being taken out? Now, yeah, so Yankee Doodle Stacker, this is something that really frustrates the hell out of me. Because if that's the case, now I want you to think about odds ratios. Okay, so there's a couple of these that are here, and I want you to look. This is something I 100% expected to see. I expected to see people that had already gone through. Now, obviously, this is a sample. This is not an exact one. And I expected to see a number of these. And you'll see these. There's a whole bunch of these that come up that are MS70, flooring hair, silver, right? And again, they're assuming what the design would be like because of the breakdown. If you enter this number here, this is a display number by PCGS. It isn't actually a coin. If you go to search this particular item, it's not there. And so when you look at this particular coin, I fully expected that many of these 75,000 would go to individual hands ahead of time, be part of that early release, that first release, that initial set, the advanced release, I think they call it. Yeah, the advanced release. I fully expected some of the 75,000 to go there. And what I was hoping for, what I was really hoping for, is that in doing so, the odds of getting one of these particular privy marks would increase. Because again, if there's 1,794 of these that are available to the public, and they've sent 10, 15, 20,000 of these regular non-privy coins out to dealers to be graded or whatnot, then that should reduce the overall. Hey, Check Stacker just gifted Scotty Quaddy a membership. Thanks, Check. I appreciate you, bud. Your name's already up at the top in the membership display. If you look up at the top, right above my coin, you should see the Check Stacker logo. So thanks so much for that. Anytime somebody gifts memberships, that's where the name of honor is going to be displayed. So I really do appreciate you. The other thing is you're going to see this little QR code. If you want to bypass YouTube and just send me something via Cash App or whatnot, you can do that as well. But Yankee, again, this is Yankee Doodle Stacker. This is one of those things that really frustrates me. As I look at some of these, it's like, yeah, I fully expected 10, 20,000 of these. No big deal. Oh, wait, hold on. What the hell? You guys seeing what's on the screen, right? $9,499. And they have a privy mark and a gold coin. Now, the gold coin doesn't even freaking show up. All the details don't even show up on the mint yet. Now, I understand that some of this stuff is going to get out before they release it because they have distribution channels that they got to go through, and they have people that they want to be working with, and they want to be looking at some of these items. So I fully understand that some of these are going to be out there before that November release. Again, if we come back up here and we go back to the 2024 product schedule, we scroll all the way back down to the bottom, and we come back to this November timeframe, you're going to see here's the gold relief. Well, they haven't even dropped the information, right? They have basic information. Some of this stuff is new. They didn't have this here the other day. But again, as you're looking, what's up, Mark? Good to see you. As you look through this stuff, they don't even have the stuff here. They haven't released all the information. So how are these people dropping these gold coins and the privy mark? Okay, I pre-ordered the 2024 privy mark ASC. So, Sir Ford, here's the thing. The privy mark isn't going to be, supposedly, something that you can order directly. The privy mark is something, from my understanding, that's going to be only 1,794 of these, and they're going to will supposedly be randomly sent out. So my problem is that if they have in fact distributed some of these, then those of us that are waiting to get these in the public release of these are not going to have that 1,794. How many actually are out there? This is my question to the Mint. How many of them are you actually affording us to get from the Mint? How many have you taken away from us and put into private ownership hands of these companies like, and again, I don't know who all would have access, but when you're talking about these larger companies, you're talking about places like JM Bullion, Hiram Bullion, you're looking at SD Bullion, you're looking at some of these things. This Coin Addict and the Patriotic, or the Patriotic Coin, or whatever that, the Patriotic Mint, already talking about they have privy marks. So how many of them are actually going to be available to us? And I'm going to tell you that if I find out, now one thing I am going to do is I'm going to get a hold of Paula Bloom and have her reach out to another channel that is going to be interviewing the Mint director. And I'm going to ask them, will you please ask this question? I have already reached out to the Patriotic Mint. I have already reached out to this channel, the Coin Addict, and asked them, how is it that these are supposed to be released on October 15th? The privy marks are supposed to be going to the general public. How is it that you already have these? How is it that you're asking for $10,000 for coins that we're not supposed to be able to get? Yeah, exactly, Yankee Doodle. Are we lining up at noon for the 15th, but there's only going to be 500 available? Right. And so again, you talk about orders of merit. You talk about, you know, and I'm not, if there's somebody in here that's really, really good with math, somebody, now I haven't got an answer yet, Kevin. I'm still waiting for a response. I'm almost betting that I won't get a response from them because this is my take on it. It's only Frosty's take. This is not a conspiracy theory. I'm not saying that the mint is being crooked. I'm saying that if it is the way that it appears, I have massive issue with this. Because when you're looking at, yeah, exactly, crickets. When you look at the information and you say there's 1,794 of these, again, if you don't know the significance of the 1,794, this is a replication, a remake of the 1794 flowing hair dollar. Okay. The reason that it's getting released October 15th is because October 15th was when that original coin was released. So they're releasing it on the same day that it was released 230 years later. That's why the privy mark is 230. This is the 230th anniversary of this particular design. So everything in this is outstanding, right? Everything points to history. Everything points to kind of all of that. This is one reason I was so freaking happy to see the mint do something like this. But now, seeing this, I have to ask, is the mint pulling one over? Is the mint pulling a wool over our eyes? Have they already released half of these? Have they released 1,000 of them out into private ownership hands, and then they're going to allow them for resale? Because I'll tell you right now, if you're looking at the privy marks, now granted, this is for the pair of the two. I don't know what the gold is going to sell for. I'm assuming that with spot price being where it's at, it's probably going to be a $3,000 coin. So if they're taking 3 times the value, or 2.5 times the value, then this is going to put this coin at $1,500 to $2,000. And if that's the case, then there's no way in God's name I'm going to be able to afford this particular coin. So basically, what they've done is they've answered the call for the high-end collector and took the common person out of the equation. And if that's the fact, I'm going to be really pissed off. And it'll be the very last time I do anything with the US Mint. So I want to get some information before I make any snap decisions. Again, you guys know that I already have a sour taste in my mouth with the US Mint because of the things that have gone on with my account over the last year and a half, trying to get things ordered, especially when we're talking about the naval coin, the naval medal that happened. I would try and it would tell me that they were out, couldn't access it, couldn't gain access to it. And then I contacted YouTube, a buddy of mine named Me. You guys know Me on YouTube, not me as in me as in YouTube me, and said, hey, bud, I got a problem. I can't get this coin. And he's like, well, let me see if I can order one. And I believe 949 actually was able to dial in and get one. Now, I couldn't. It would not allow me with the account that I had to go in and order that. It wouldn't allow me to order the Air Force one. I couldn't get the Marines one. It wouldn't allow me to get the Navy one. It wouldn't allow me to get the gold coin that was being released that year. I couldn't get into the specialty mint sets. I gave up on the mint. I was so tired, so frustrated with trying to gain access to certain things. Now, in that time frame, the mint director has done a lot for the website. I've heard a lot of great things from people who have been accessing the website. They've done this before and they've had great success with it. So I'm really hopeful that if I'm trying for this on Tuesday, and I may not even be able to, I've got notified that I might end up having to work during that time frame and give a training, and I may not even be able to be online, which is a real bummer for me, because out of all the stuff that the mint has produced, this is one of the coins or one of the metals that I really, really wanted. Hey, ATS, what's going on, brother? But my problem is that if the mint has sent these privy marks out, then if you look at the math, and again, if somebody's really good at math, somebody can run the statistics for me, I would really appreciate it. But just general math. So if you take the calculator, right, and you come up here and you say that there's 75,000 of these, okay, and you're going to divide that by 1,794 of those. Whoops, hold on. 75,000. Wait, hold on. 1,794 divided by 75,000. All right. So it's a 2% chance that you might be able to get one, right? And so if you look at this, that's for a single coin in the full line of the 72,000. Now I have a problem with the fact is this is only one. Now the likelihood that some of these, and if you see this, look at this, it says that they have 5 sets available. All right, now I want you to really look at this, folks. I want you to think about this, because if we take this out, now granted, you're looking at 1,789 divided by 74,995. It's going to be the same, but you have to understand, we don't know how many of the regular minted coins have already been sent out to many companies, right? SD Bullion, I'm sure, has some of these. Hero Bullion, JM Bullion. There's going to be metals companies all over the place that are going to have some of these. There's going to be some big private collectors that already have reached out and they've got monster boxes of these things. So there's going to be people that have already taken a good chunk of these, but we don't know how many of those are going to be. Okay. Well, yeah, we're not even going to go there. Because it's just, again, I'm not even going to talk about that company, Perplex Mine. But so if we look at this, and they say that they have 5 available. So if you look at the order of merits, I want you to think of the odds of probability. Okay, so if you're looking at probability, the probability of getting one of these is 1 in 75,000. But getting 2 of these isn't 2 in 75,000. It's 2 on the order of like 405,000. To get 3 of these out of the 1,794 of these, you're talking about an order of merit about 1 in like 1.1 million. To get 4 of these, you're talking about 1 in like 597 million. To get 5 of these, you're talking about 1 in a billion chance. So how in the world can somebody, before these have even been released, say that they have 5 of the 1,794 that are supposed to be released to the general public on October 15th? Right? I don't understand this. And so there are, well, and this is, I'm going to get to some of that. So you have the Proof Cam. Again, some of them are different, right? You got different prices that are coming up here. And again, this is the one, this is supposed to be just the regular Privy Mark. So I'm really curious because, again, I've seen images. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these. I'm going to go back to the eBay listing. And as we scroll through these various eBay listings and you look at this, you look at some of the prices. Now, for the gold coin, that's a $6,500 coin is what they're calling that out to be. You're looking at $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 for these particular items. You'll see some of these that are already certified with CAC. Again, when you're looking at some of these coins, we know that the big boys are guaranteed some of these. Oh, that's exactly what Eric said, right? Yeah, so we know that the big players, we know that they already have some of the regular 75,000 mintage release. Okay, we already know that that's there. We already know that they have those. That's a given. There's no question, no doubt about this. We know that that's the case. But this Privy Mark, so when you're looking at these, right, how in the world are they, how are they doing these Privy Marks? I mean, how are they getting these? Now, granted, there's only 2, I think there's only 2 companies that I've seen that have had the Privy Mark listed. One was the Patriotic Mint, and the other one is this Coins Addict. So my question to both of them was, how in the world did they gain access to these ahead of time? So again, I reached out and asked that question because what I want to find out is I want to find out how many of these people have either gained access either by working on, a planned strategy with the U.S. Mint to sell these particular items. Are they artificially blowing this up, or let's play devil's advocate here and go to the flip side? Is this a money grab where they get all these people in pre-stage, get ready to go, and if they get one, they get the sell, but if they don't, they withdraw their orders? Here's where I flip on this. So even if there are people that have the privy marks, folks, I want you to be very, very careful. There are people, I'm almost sure that somewhere in China, these have already been manufactured and are ready to be released for October 15th. So I want you to be very, very careful when you're buying these. Remember that just because you see something in a slab does not mean that it's authentic. If you see one of these for sale for $69.99 on Temu, folks, take a clue. Okay, they're selling for $105 at the mint, October 15th, very minimal mintage. You're not going to find something like that. So I want you to think about these things logically. Pay attention to what's going on. Really dig in and focus to the things that are happening when you're seeing some of these listings. Okay, look at the seller count. Look at how many items they have. Look and see if they spell the descriptions correctly, right? Do your due diligence. But again, this boggled my mind. Seeing that these privy marks and then saying that they had 5 available, I just don't understand how they're doing it. Kraken, I have not, but I haven't gone to the post office today. I need to go to the post office today. I'll be doing that as soon as I get off stream. My wife just had a massive surgery. For those of you who don't know, they cut her basically hip bone to hip bone all the way across the pelvic region to do some work on the abdominal area. And so she had gone through a massive surgery. So she's been doing a lot of recovery. So I've been here to try to help and take care of her. And support her in whatever she can barely walk, let alone do anything around the house. So simple tasks like trying to do coffee or trying to take care of stuff like that has just been a real task. So I have not gone to the post office. I know I need to go because I got something in my box that has a due date pickup of Tuesday. So I've got to get my butt over there, and I know they're going to be closed on Sunday. Oh, new subscriber. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. RC Murphy, thank you so much for the subscription. I definitely appreciate that. But yeah, she's doing better. She's recovering pretty well. She's a tough old bird. So she tolerates pain really well, just trying to keep her from overdoing it. So I will get there today, Kraken, and then I'll send you a message and let you know that I received it. But again, folks, do your due diligence. Okay. Again, just because it's in a slab, just because there's something in what looks to be an authentic holder doesn't necessarily mean it is. It just doesn't mean that it's authentic. I've got 2 or 3 slabs here that are fake. We've done a number of these where we've talked about the various items. And so be very leery when you're buying these, especially in the coming days. I fully expect that we're going to see a bunch of counterfeits show up on the market. So again, watch very carefully and go by the adage. Folks, if you haven't seen this already, please, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Okay, if you see one of these for $115 the day after, and it's already graded, you probably need to pay attention to that because it's most likely not going to be authentic. So be very, very leery of this. Kraken said, I sent you an email this morning. I need your help. I'll look at that post stream. Okay, we'll get to that afterwards. I don't want to get derailed. But again, so what I'd like to do is I'm going to kind of turn Eric. That's 6 days delivery with the PCS NGC slab graded delivery process. They would have had to have had access to that for at least a month, if not longer, right? So when you look at the big boys, when they're trying to get that, you're looking at the big boys can get these big boxes turned around. They can grade a monster box in a day or two. Okay. And so when they have a monster box worth of coins, and Eric Beyer could talk more about this. Unfortunately, this is not one of those areas. I need to look and see something real fast. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that Paul or somebody wasn't sitting in the basement. You're going to want to make sure that I lost my train of thought. Monster boxes. Eric could speak more about that. Chuck Daughtry could speak more about that. Blue Ridge Silverhound could speak more about how that process works. But from what I understand, they get about a minute or so with each coin. And so they could grade a monster box in, an hour and a half. So when you're talking about the turnaround time for some of these big ones, they put a rush order on these. They could get these graded slab out the door in 2 to 3 weeks, shipped, delivered in a month. So that means that they would have had to have been shipped to them or picked up from their distribution centers a month and a half ahead of time. They would either have been hand delivered to NGC, PCGS, or CAC, or in some cases, I've even seen these from Annex. And then they would have had to have been put on a rush process. So yeah, they would have had to have had these for at least a month. And so when I look at this, the part that really frustrates me, and Yankee Doodle Stacker has said this a couple times, if they have 5 of these available, then that means, because we get one chance at this, folks. One. We get one chance at a coin. So if I spend $100, I know that my odds are 2%, okay, less than 2%, that I will be able to get something with a privy mark. Most likely, I'm just going to get the medal, and I'm fine with that, okay? The privy mark would have been an added bonus. But the problem I have is that if you've given 1,000 of these away, or 500 of these away, or 750 of these away, let's just cut it straight down the middle and say that you've given away 875 of these, and there's only half of that 1,794 available to the public, then your odds have been shot to crap. Exactly, ATS. They're selling false hopes. And so what they're doing is they're utilizing this as the marketing ploy without telling people that they've already distributed these. So if I find out that the U.S. Mint has done that, I'm going to be very put out. Because it's just not kosher. Now, granted, I understand the Mint, their sole job is not to make collectors happy. The Mint is not to produce coins that are for the numismatist. They are produce coins that make them money. Their job is to not lose money. That is the Mint's directive per law. Okay. So if you look at the Coin Act, you look at what's going on, the thing that they have to do is they have to have a minimum of X amount of profit per coin, right? Their entire thing by law is not to lose money. If they lose money, many times you'll see things. This happened with the Buffalo back in 2006, 2008, something like that. I can't remember what year the Gold Buffalo coin came out. Not the bullion buffalo, but the gold buffalo coin. they just weren't profitable. People weren't buying them, and so they reduced the number of them, and now they're extremely collectible. Um, and so, but this is a marketing ploy. Privy marks are something that are just now really kind of taking off with the U.S. We've seen the first one with the ASC. I think the ASC is a joke. There's so much more that they could have done with putting that little thing. It looks like somebody was doing. Jack Stacker, thank you so much for the support, brother. I just got notification. I appreciate you doing that, bud. It's frustrating to look at these things and go, I work my butt off for my money. I work hard for the money that I have. And I support my friends. If I'm going to go in and I'm going to support somebody's auction, if I'm going to go in and I'm going to drop a couple on something, or I'm going to go in and I'm going to donate to somebody, or I'm going to go drop some memberships in somebody's live stream, that's my choice with my money. But if I'm going to be buying something based off of known numbers, and I come to find out that they're manipulating these numbers to give people a false sense of hope in order to get more people to buy, I am done with the U.S. Mint. Like, I will never buy another thing because it's not conducive to the average collector. And what's going to happen is, if this information actually does come out to be true, you're going to have a lot of people who try to identify, or a lot of people who go after this only to find out that, well, unfortunately, there were only 500 of these available, and we had sold 25,000 of these coins. So your odds were dropped to less than a 1% chance that you were going to get this. From a 2.5% chance to a 1% chance, that's a pretty drastic drop in odds. And so, depending upon how many of these, if this is in fact, again, keyword if. Now, all things point to that. Okay, so you look at the multiple, they talk about November 26th. Oh, yeah, this one, they can't deliver them soon. Excuse me, they can't deliver it before the drop date. So we know that this one isn't going to come out until November. But if we look at this other one, which is just the privy mark, where did it go? It's in here somewhere. I got too many of these open. If you look at just the privy mark, you're seeing October 1st, 21st, and 25th, right? That's not even time for the U.S. Mint to ship those out. So that means that they're going to have these in stock. Now, again, not a big deal, not a problem. But the privy marks being released, that is a huge issue. A graded privy mark, 5, 6, 7 days after the fact, I've got massive issue with that. And so, again, in looking at this, I want you guys to be aware of this. I want you to guys, I can't tell you what the answer is, right? I've got some questions out there to people. Now, I will say Coin Show Podcast will be interviewing the Mint director. I'm going to ask Paul, I'm going to reach out to them. They've got a great show. They're going to be doing a coin show. I think it's going to be this weekend or next weekend. And they're going to be doing they're chock full of interviews. If you can name some of these people, Jack Young, some of these big Joe Cronin, the Mint director, you're talking about people from CAC grading, you're talking about all these big wigs. They probably have already lined them up for interviews. So if you're going to be checking out the Coin Show Podcast, you're going to need to cue into the one for the Mint director, because if you're there, folks, I urge you very, very strongly during that interview to be dropping those questions and asking people those difficult questions, because people need to be able to see this. Exactly, ATS. Show these eBay postings and go, how is it that you're saying that the public is going to have 1,794 opportunities to get a privy mark out of these, but you're already showing these, companies are already showing these graded? How is that possible? Right? Are you telling me, now they're going to be, well, the odds are the same? No, they're not. And the probability of people being able to get one of these is going to be very difficult. But if you're looking at the probability of somebody getting 5 of these, that's astronomically. You have more chance of getting struck by lightning while riding a bike talking to a purple unicorn than getting 5 of these in this auction, because we are limited to one chance. Even if you set up 5 accounts, the odds ratio of you being able, I want you to think about the odds. And again, if somebody's a good math whiz and they can run the numbers really fast and put that into chat, if you opened up 5 accounts and you got a privy mark on all 5, the odds would be 1 in a billion, if not a trillion. The numbers are so astronomically high that for somebody to come through and say that they have 5 of these, or to come through and say that they have these that are graded. And there's, again, folks, I want you to look at this, okay? Here's one. Here's another. They're different prices. They're different lot listings. They've got 5 of the privies graded, but they have more than one listing. This is a separate listing. That means that they have more than 5? I don't think so. Right? So I'm not sure how they got this going on. I don't know what the final numbers will be. And again, I'm not trying to cause dissension between anybody in the U.S. Mint. I'm just trying to ask the hard question. How is it that this is, I just, Yankee Doodle Stacker, I can't, I'm so frustrated to see. I was so happy, folks. Like, I was like, I'm going to chase this. I really want, now the odds of getting one, now I steered clear of the vault boxes. I steered clear of all of those. The only thing I've had my hands in, and I've actually got one sitting right here. So hold on just a second. I'll flag this over. I'm going to go ahead and drop this because we don't need this. And I'm going to kill the stop screen. See these? Postal Mint. Yeah, I did those. I wanted to try something. Mainly, the reason that I tried these ones is because being frostbite, I wanted to get one of the iced ones, the iced Sasquatch or whatever the hell that is, right? And so I wanted to see if I could get one, and I didn't. It's not the one that I wanted, but it's okay. I tried. I gambled it away, and I didn't get what I wanted to. I've actually done a couple of these. However, I don't know about ever going back to this and saying, I just don't know that I can support it anymore. I have tried very, very hard. Hey, Nick, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. I have tried very hard over the last year to go, let me continue to find things in the U.S. Mint. Let me continue to find things and improvements and see if they're at least heading in the right direction. Just to make sure that they are doing things that are improving some of the problems that I have. I am a process person, and I'm all about working towards bettering items. If I find a problem, I'm going to offer resolutions. So even though I've been really upset with the Mint and not being able to order things and get things, fortunately, I was able to get 2 of the Navy medals. Somebody sent me those, and that was very gracious of people within the community. But again, it's just one of those things that it's like, if this turns out to be true and I get stuff back, I'm going to ask him for verification, proof, copy of a receipt, something to show that it's authentic. If it is, and they actually send that to me, I'm done with the Mint. And I can't, I will be so totally disheartened. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm gonna go grab some coffee. I'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
So I'm really, really hopeful that these are people that are they're jumping in early and saying that there's an opportunity for this to be here. We're going to put this up, and in the off chance that I actually get one or don't get one, then I'll withdraw my listing. Because I think what they're working on right now, the premise in which they're working on right now is FOMO, right? And so they're going to try to find people that were willing to do that. They'll put the thing on hold. They won't charge their card until it goes through. They'll see if they get one, and then what they'll do is they'll probably end up delaying it and whatever. Okay, I understand that game. I don't agree with that game, but if that ends up being the case, then that's just people being people and people trying to make money. I get it. And I'll tell you right now, Paul and I have talked about this. If I happen to get one that's a privy mark with the signed certificate of authenticity from the mint director, I can't say that I wouldn't sell that, because the dollar value on that's going to be through the roof. I would be able to buy a couple really nice coins and then pay off some bills. You know what I mean? I don't know that I would hold it. I would keep it for a while. I would do a number of videos, and then I would send it in to get graded at CAC or PCGS, have it all authenticated, and then put it up on one of their things and just let them sell it from there. But if I only have, and here's the other thing, that was a big sigh.
Oh, I know. Sorry.
Here's the other thing, and that is, if they have this, are the 230 certificates, are any of those included in the ones that we're seeing in these eBay listings? Have any of those?
So what's going on now with this? I didn't hear what.
So on eBay,
yeah,
and in a couple other places, they already have people listing Privy Mark slab.
Yes, so they have always done that. They did that with the Morgan dollars and everything else. What they do is, if they don't have them available, they just refund. They do those pre-sales.
Yeah, and so what I want to find out is, I reached out because the one is like, he's guaranteeing 5 of these, and it's like,
well, he can't.
I have problems with that. But what I want to know is, the mint has done early releases of these, because obviously some of them have been slabbed.
No,
right?
They have not been slabbed. None of them have been slabbed yet. Those are all pre-sales. They aren't. If you look at the cert numbers, they're all just generic cert numbers.
Well, yeah, and that's what I said before. So if you look at the number, it's not a certified number.
No, they have not been slabbed yet.
Yeah. So you know for a fact that none of these have gone into private collectors.
Yeah, it's the same thing they did with the Morgan dollars. In when they, especially in 2021, when they first came out with them.
Yeah, but in 2023, I got my slabbed MS-70 Morgan a week after, delivered to me a week after release. That means that they had to have that coin and have it graded and shipped to me. So they had to have that done before they were released. This is my problem with this particular item.
No, they don't have these. I guarantee you they don't have
I hope not. I hope this is just people doing a money grab.
Yeah, it's just that, like I said, they've done them many times in the past, pre-sales. And what they end up doing is, if they don't have them,
they retract their
offer. Person's money. Yeah, they just refund them.
So here's a question for you. So it's $10,000 for one of these that they have, the pair. It's not going to be released. Yeah, I'll show you in a little bit. I've already closed them all. So
what?
To have a Privy Mark certified as well as one of the gold coins, they're selling it for $10,000.
Yeah. And that's another thing that ended up happening with those pre-sales on the 2021s, is people paid exorbitant amounts of money for them.
Yep. Only to find out they're not going to get it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So again, my warning, folks, and again, I said this about 20 minutes ago. I'm if this were to come out that this were true, I'd be really pissed off, like exorbitantly pissed off. But the one thing I really want you guys to be aware of is beware these money grabs. And again, I full heartedly believe that there's probably already counterfeits being produced. So be very, very careful purchasing these. If you see a deal that's too good to be true, really, really watch this, because there's so much demand for this right now that if this, there's too much opportunity. There's too much money to be made for them not to have already started working on counterfeit slabs. So be very careful. And I've already closed it, but I want to pull this back up. Here you go, Paula.
Okay.
Let's pull this back up. Do. Screen to go up. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, nope, that's
I
not
mean,
what I wanted.
they've done these signed COAs in the past,
There you go.
as kind of Easter eggs or whatever, and yeah, they can't guarantee that they're gonna have them.
Yeah, here's the kicker, right? $10,000, $9,500, 5 available.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna be well, first of all, good luck to them getting $10,000 for those. That's my first thing. And they can't, yeah, they just can't. If it ever came out, that the mint was doing something like that, when they've reduced the household limit number and everything else, if it ever came out, it would ruin the mint. It would
Well,
ruin them.
and that's exactly what I've been saying, because if I was to ever
So,
find out,
do
I
you
would.
really think that they're going to take a chance on doing something shady like that?
It's not necessarily shady, but who knows? This was the other thing that
Now, see, Patriot Mint, they just have one, right? They just have one available. And if they don't get one, they'll refund someone's money. They'll just
yeah,
refund it.
but here's the thing. They're saying estimated delivery 21st to 25th of October.
Yeah.
There's no way that would be delivered that quickly unless somebody had it available.
Why not? If they do next day shipping from the mint, then they
Oh,
would
and then
get it
they
on the
do
6th, they would get it on the 16th or 17th, and then they just ship it right out.
2-day shipping.
Yeah.
I got you.
A lot of people do that anyway. I don't. I'm cheap.
Yeah, I just, like I said, if this were to ever come out, I'd be done.
Their supplier guarantees them approving.
Yeah. So I saw this, and again, I wanted to talk about this because, again, it's just I for
So
years.
ATS, their Patriot Mint supplier is the U.S. Mint. That's their supplier.
Well, and I reached out.
I don't know who Patriot Mint is.
I reached out to them and asked them, "How can you guarantee this?" I actually sent them an email and said, "How can you guarantee this? How can you guarantee this sell?" Because here's my thing. Now, I don't know about finance law well enough to be able to say anything about this. But if you take, and we'll use these ones because the numbers are exorbitant. So you get $10,000. You throw that into your bank account, and it's sitting in your bank account for 30 days. You're earning interest off that money. If you refund that money, do you have to refund the interest that you earned off of it?
I don't have a clue. I don't know how that works. I don't know if they can even pull the money out until they ship the product. I don't know how eBay works, how eBay sales work.
So it would be really, really interesting to see how that all works, because if they sold 5 of these, now granted, at $6,500 for the gold coin, which is what they're anticipating on eBay, this thing being, because I already showed that the mint, they don't even have the gold coin listed yet.
Was that an NGC slab? PCGS advanced. No, the one that said advanced release.
Nope, PCGS.
That's a PCGS slab. The other one, oh,
Advanced release.
Does that say advanced release? So NGC and PCGS supposedly have an advanced release. It seems like that would be pretty easy to confirm by just calling PCGS and NGC to see if they actually are slabbing them right now.
And if that's the case, and they're slabbing privy marks,
yeah, then that's
we have a
shady.
problem. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think PCGS would actually release that information, though?
I don't know. I mean, they can't lie about it. I wouldn't think they'd be able to lie about it.
Yeah, but they could say something like,
there's some listings on eBay that show your slabs with advanced release labels. What does the advanced release label mean? And how are you getting advanced release coins when they're not supposed to be released to the public before this certain amount of time with one household limit?
who do we know that has an in? So I've already told people that they need to go watch the Coin Show podcast when they interview the mint director and start asking various questions, because that there's going to be a slew of great interviews that they have going on. Is that this weekend or next?
What? Coin Show podcast?
When they're doing the interviews at the Coin Show.
I don't know. Sometime. I know that Mike is going to be interviewing Ventress Gibson, so that would be an awesome thing to talk to her about. But
well, that's what I'm saying. The mint director, yeah,
yeah, it'll already be released by then.
So they're not. But when are they having the interview? Do you know the date? I remember him talking about the Coin Show, but I can't remember the date.
He hasn't interviewed her yet. I don't believe. I'm not sure when they're going to be going. I think it's Baltimore, isn't it?
I don't recall.
I know they're going to the Smithsonian.
I know it's a pretty big show. That's all I know. I can't remember.
And they're going to the Smithsonian, so jealous.
So, but anyway,
yeah, I don't know. This is going to be all I know about the eBay crap is that they've done these pre-sales multiple times in the past, and yeah, it's just if they don't end up with them, they just refund the money. So, and it's unfortunate because nobody knows what the market's going to do on these, so people could end up losing a lot of money by FOMO.
Yeah, and that's going to be exactly what this is in relation to, is FOMO, right? People wanting to be the first. And this is the thing, folks. If you're an early adopter for technology, you guys know that there's inherent technical problems with first releases of things. The problem with being FOMO with coins or silver or gold is that you can overspend so much that you never, ever recoup your loss. You got to be very careful with that. We've seen that, and I always utilize my buddy's example of the Minnesota extra tree, right? Paid $1,500 for that coin in 2006, 2007. Had one of the stronger strikes. Now they're still a $400 or $500 coin. In MS60, it's the grade. I think it's 68, 69.
Oh, that definitely the grade.
Yeah. But not the $1,500 you spent for it. And if you take the cost of that 25 years ago, that's way more money now. right? So again, it's just one of those things. Be very careful if you're early adopting and you're trying to chase some of these things. You can really catch yourself in between a rock and a hard place.
Kraken, I don't have an email from you. Frostbite, I really think the coin I found will intrigue you, Kraken says.
Yeah, he's got some pictures he's going to send me, so I'll have to look at those. Are these things that you want me to pull up?
Yeah, I don't that's another thing, those labels and crap. I don't fall for those labels. I don't dig them. I don't think they're I mean, you know, you do you. You collect what you like. If you want to collect those labels, I suppose there's a market out there for them. Um, but I think that I mean, especially with like First Strike, there's one coin that's a First Strike coin. The rest cannot be First Strike. So, so that tells you right there that it's just all gimmick.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, you know that they are doing the with the Stax Bowers, the Royal Mint is doing like the first 10 coins.
yeah, and I told you about that too. I think
Yeah,
that that's garbage because there's one coin by definition.
that is the first strike.
That
Yeah.
would be like giving first place to the first 10 runners in a race that came in.
Well, that's No Child Left Behind.
Right, that's your participation trophies. But it just yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Hey, Kraken, I'm looking at these coins. I don't do ancients, bud. I know
Um,
nothing about ancients.
Me neither. But
Um,
I can if you give me like a month, I'll tell.
yeah, so
No,
reach out
I'm just
to.
kidding. I can send the pictures to Aaron Burke if you
I was just
send
going to
them.
send him that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the person he needs to reach out to.
Mhm.
So I can't. I can't tell you anything about ancients. I'm not stooped there.
The only ancient
THS.
I like has a Athenian owl on it. That's it.
Yeah, I like the
That's
Athenian.
the only
Well, the ancient coin that I like, I can't afford. It's like $450,000. Um,
Ay, ay, ay.
THS, the 2020 Proof 75 ASC. I got one of those actually. Um, not long before John Howe passed away. That was one of the last trades that him and I did. Um, I traded him some constitutional silver that he was going to be giving away for wounded warriors, and we traded the V75. And that coin has a very special place in my collection because it was the last coin that I traded with John Howe. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's one of my favorites too. Hey, what's up, sweetheart? How you doing? Bifrost is in the house.
UFO on many of these specialty coins, yes, but it still wouldn't matter. It would be the first coin that comes off of if you had 10 presses running, it would be the first coin that came off the first press.
Yeah, they're
Otherwise, they would have to call it first strike from press 1, first strike from press 2, first strike from press 3. But oftentimes they do on specialty coins run because they strike them in a special fashion, just like proof coins. They strike them, and everything about a proof coin is done differently than a business strike.
yeah. So if you guys are looking for information on what we're talking about, I'm going to throw this link in chat. I know the folks that are in portrait mode won't be able to click on that, so I'll put this in the link in the description below. But you have the opportunity to buy um, these. Now, some of them have already gone through auction, and the prices were outrageous.
Yeah.
I think some of the first strike gold coins were going for mid five figures, just
Okay, Kraken.
unreal.
But like Frostbite said, if they're ancient, if it's an ancient, If you want me to find out information for you, I can do that, but I can't do it like right now. I have to send them to um, Harley
So
Jean.
Yankee Doodle Stacker, the problem is that there's no way for them to quantify, because it's not, how do I say this? Drop shipping an item is not illegal.
What is drop shipping?
Huh?
What is drop shipping?
Drop shipping is where you order an item and have it delivered to that person from that location. So, like, let's say that I want to send you an
Okay.
Amsco coin scope, right? I spent
Mm-hmm.
$1,000 on an Amsco coin scope because I appreciate you so much. I'm going to send you an Amsco. I call Amsco
Okay.
and said, "Hey, send Paula this," and I pay for it and say, "Send it to this address."
Mm-hmm.
That's drop shipping. And so if they argue that, well, we're going to be, it opens up on the 15th, then I can go through and just drop ship it directly to them.
So you're shipping it's when your shipping address is different than your billing address.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
a
then they
lot of
would drop.
sellers don't allow that. I'm not sure eBay even allows that, do they?
Well, but the thing is that, well, yeah, you can definitely do it from eBay, um,
Hmm.
because you have, uh, not everybody's mailing address is the same as their shipping address, and so there are opportunities
No,
to
I'm
do that.
talking about billing. Your billing address is different than your shipping
It's
address.
fine. It's 100% legal. There's nothing wrong with that. Now,
A lot
um,
of sellers don't allow it.
because a lot of people will have like a PO box, but they don't want people having a physical address. Like, for instance, I will use my billing address as my home, but all of my shipping stuff goes to the PO box, and I have all my stuff. Even when I purchase from eBay, it goes to my PO box.
Well, here's the thing. When you purchase from eBay, though, a lot of people use PayPal, right? So the only way that they can get your shipping information is when you pay, they get it off of your payment information.
Okay, but on PayPal, it's the same thing. My shipping address is not the same as my billing address.
How would they get your shipping address?
When I purchase from eBay,
From when you pay with PayPal
the information gets pulled across.
from your payment,
Yeah, but that's my point. My
which would be your you said
PO
your
box.
payment information is not the same as your shipping.
Okay, my billing information, right? That address is my home,
Right.
but
Which is
all of my
where
shipping stuff is a PO box. So whenever they get my shipping information, all they get is the PO box.
but they only get your shipping information from your payment.
Because my payment address isn't my billing address. You don't have to use the same address.
I don't understand.
You have two opportunities for address. Yeah, I don't use, very few people have my home address.
Right. When you pay, it asks if your info is the same or correct. That's when you change whatever info.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you just say no, and then you put the information in. Yeah,
Why didn't they ship my because
and then
they
they don't ship off your billing address. They send off your other address. Yeah, and so the same thing with Cash App. If you're utilizing Cash App, you can set the different ones up so that your billing address is different. So that's not a problem.
Hmm.
They can do that. The problem comes with, they can pull their listing down for any reason. The seller's not required to keep their listing up. Something happens, they weren't able to get the product, there were backlogs, customer canceled. There's a lot of reasons why you wouldn't be able to get something. So what they're banking on is the hope that they can get, even if there's a whole bunch of these, and they spend $500 on a coin after the fact. They turn around and mark it up 500%, and then they ship it right out. So what they're banking
Mhm.
on is the fact that they're going to be able to get 5 of these in a very short turnaround of time.
Yeah, lots of people do. They get around the one household limit thing. I do
Yeah.
know that. Yeah, but
And so they're banking
they
on something
but
like that happening. Yeah.
many of these Patriot Mint or whatever, they probably have over 100 employees. Every single one of them is ordering one of those.
I just want to get one. I am
I just
not
want
worried.
one. That's
I'm not
it.
worried about
I
getting
don't care. I
multiples.
don't care if it
Yeah.
has a I wanted one before I found out about these privy things. So with my luck, I ain't gonna get one that's got a privy. I'd be lucky if mine has a face.
You would be the only person out of 75,000 that got a planchette.
It's true. I'd be cool with that.
Oh
I would be
hell!
okay with
Could you imagine opening up one of those and you just get a planchette?
Bye, Kraken. I'll do what I can with I'll try to get information
See you later,
for you.
Kraken. Hey, Slot Crush. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hey, Southern Coin Hunter. Good to see you.
Maybe I'll send it to Mike and let him do some homework because he's trying to learn about ancients. So maybe I'll put him to work. But it'll be bald, right? No flowing hair. It's true. It's true. Sean, good morning.
Good morning, Blue Ridge. How you doing, bud? Good to see
Sean, do
you.
you want to come up? I'll give you the link. I don't know
Yeah,
if I can
Sean,
give you
please
the
come
link.
up. I would love to have you on panel.
You want to come up and say good morning, Sean? Let me see if I can. Can I share the link? I think so. Copy.
Yeah, well, you can send it from your email. You have it. You can just forward him the email.
I know. But I'll just send it to him on Messenger. It's quicker. Maybe. He probably won't come up anyway. But
He
we'll
should.
see. Sean. I know. He should. You're right. Hang on. Give me a minute. There it is. You can check out this restream too, Sean. I don't know what's going on. I'm
Yeah,
literally sitting on right. There we go.
I've had good success with this. I think I've deemed that this is where I want to be. I'm probably going to go ahead and pay up and just do the membership and get some of the fancy.
What is the membership?
$20.
Jumping in the shower. That's okay. Take us with you, Sean.
No,
Something
please.
I haven't seen before. You've seen one, you've seen them all.
No, that's not true. No, that's not true.
That's not true.
It goes that goes for all aspects of that. It's not true.
No. Next coins. What do you mean?
He's like, no.
How many? That's what I was curious. How many were ordered for these companies to offer? Oh, yeah, that's what it is. I mean, these big companies they've got tons of employees, so every single one of their employees is ordering one. And they probably get a big bonus if they actually get one. If they actually receive one. Can you imagine? Membership for Restream. Nick,
Oh yeah, Restream.
Restream as opposed to StreamYard.
Yeah, so looking at this, I really like the layout better. It's easier to operate. It takes you a little bit to get familiar with it. But looking at what I have way less issues. Now earlier I had something like 22 tabs open, and so when I had the tabs open, I would be a little choppy because this I've got to figure out how to set priority for Restream within my streaming. I got to make sure it keeps its resources, because as soon as I pulled everything else, I went choppy. But I'm not going to be sharing my screen with 25 tabs open again for a while. But yeah, this has been really nice. I've really enjoyed this. It's pretty cool to be able to do that. I like the little QR code that it presents up above where you can click on it and then you can send, instead of doing super chat through YouTube, which takes 30% of it, and 50% of it if you're using an Apple device, they can send directly to your support. Hey, Sean with the $10 super
Oh,
chat. Thanks so much,
they
brother.
don't get nothing. Speaking of that, Sean, you should have clicked on the little QR code in the corner.
Yeah, that's really cool. I appreciate you, bud.
What they don't take anything?
No, because it's just they just send
Is
you.
that your own generated
Hmm.
QR code then,
Yeah.
like for your Cash App or
Yep.
whatever? Oh,
And
that's cool.
you can generate your own QR code through.
That's cool. We need to do that. The LiveCoin Q&A needs to do that because we're going broke.
Yep, and you can do it through
All this
here
free
free.
information
Yep.
is costing us money.
And so if you guys opt to go this route, let me know. We'll do a conversation. We'll walk through it. I can show you all the various features. But I'm stuck with it. I'm really happy with what I see on it.
Oh, good. Yeah, I can't sustain this $44. And from the very beginning, Ken's entire entire idea with the LiveCoin Q&A that it was going to be a free platform where people could get free information,
Yeah.
everything else. And we've thought about doing the memberships, but right now we're just not putting out enough content to make it worth anybody spending any money. And I get that. So we are doing a rebrand. You guys keep an eye out for the LiveCoin Q&A. We are going to be changing it up because it's just not sustainable the way it is right now. It's just, we're more popular than our subscriber count shows because everybody likes free information.
Yeah.
So our emails and our Facebook group have exploded, and we are going to be changing it up. So just it's going to be good. I'm don't anybody panic. I'm already panicking enough for both of us. It's going to be good, but we're not quite sure what we're going to. I think it's going to end up being a lot of trial and error in the beginning.
So
yeah. I saw that, Nick. What's up with that?
I got a question. Yeah, it's StreamYard. The prices are going up ridiculous.
Yeah, $44, man.
Yeah, unreal. DHS, the mintage of the Star Privy ASE, 500,000.
Mm-hmm. And 50,000, I guess, is they put aside for the gaming, that game.
Yeah, so they're going to come with a combination
never
of that
heard of.
Yeah.
Whatever, but
yeah.
And the rest is for bullion dealers to overcharge you. $70, you guys, for a raw one. $70 for a raw one.
Yeah.
70. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. For a privy that is like falling off the coin.
Yeah, so I'm going to share this because I've got this up. Folks, there are certain things, again, when I talk about you guys doing stuff like
it's a bullion coin.
Sharing information. Yeah, it's a bullion coin. But here's the thing. That little itty bitty thing right there, that's what everybody's so happy about. You know what it looks like? It looks like somebody forgot the rest of them.
Nick, well, you can come sit by me, Nick, if you don't have anything nice to say. Call me.
Yeah, Nick, and I can walk you through that too if you have any questions or concerns about changing. Yeah, it's like, what the hell, really? I mean, come on.
It's literally like falling off the coin. It's like, okay. What is that?
There's so many places on the reverse that they could have put this here. Made it a little bit bigger. Made it nicer.
Why can't they could have just put it right above in God?
Right like here.
It was a mint mark or something.
Yeah. I don't understand.
I don't get it.
Yeah. So, is what it is. I don't know why they would have put it there, but I'm not spending up for this. I'm going to wait for 8, 9 months, and then I'll buy one in proof 70 for $65.
You should call me, Nick.
Yeah, because I
I
really
love
don't
you,
think
sister.
that I don't think that there's going to be a huge markup for this. I really don't. I think after a while, people, especially when that 230 comes out on the, they're going to look at that privy compared to this one and go, well, this is stupid.
Well, what I would like to know is, is it gonna? So, does it cost people to play that video game, like that app? Does it cost? I mean, because I just don't. And the thing is $70 for that. Like and it's coming out around the same time. It's a 2024, and it's
Yep.
coming out around the same time that the 2025s are coming out. So the 2024 bullion coins have already been out for a whole year. And then this, and I get it. I'm struggling so hard to be an advocate in some way for it, because I hope that it brings kids in to the hobby. I just don't think it's going to, because I really don't think kids are going to care. I think that they would
Yep.
rather have some silly little costume that they could win in the game than a silver eagle.
You know what they're going to
I
do?
don't think
They're going to
I
flip
don't
this
think they're going
coin.
to care.
They're going to flip this coin. They're going to put that money
Yeah.
back into Steam
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
their Nintendo points or Xbox
Mhm.
points or whatever. They're going to flip this, trade it out, put that money back into their game.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going to happen. The only thing that people are going to do is they're going to be looking for this because they know they're going to be able to sell it for 50, 60, $70.
And 450,000 is not a low mintage. So
No,
that's
no.
after the game, that's what they end up, the fine that so the final count, the final mintage will be 500,000, right? But that's not a low mintage. So I don't know why everybody's getting a little chubby over this little tiny star that's falling off the coin with a 500,000 mintage.
Mine's because I ate cake.
You know what else? I was bored. So I got the annual report or whatever for the mint,
Okay.
um and the monthly. Once again in September they made no nickels and dimes. They minted no nickels and dimes and or halves or dollars. But um the final so we still have, I guess, like a month left, or this month, before their numbers, because I think they go October to October. I think we checked on that, didn't we? October to October
Yeah,
for
so
their
the fiscal there's a calendar and a fiscal year. So September 30th is the end of the fiscal year, but they budget for the following month. So they have to execute the end of September
all of their
numbers by the end
okay,
of October.
through October.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you go back before the 70s and you look at the mintages of the nickels, they are lower than the final mintage is going to be for this year. Yet, the only one that is a key date is the 50D. So, if that's the case, then as much as people are excited over these and paying $80 a roll, they're going to have as much interest as the other coins in like 1951. Nobody cares about a 1951 nickel.
Yeah.
And
Was it the
so
48, 50, and
I don't know what the 48 is, but the 50D, right? That's really, everybody gets all excited about that, and the silver war nickels.
the 30?
Uh
Is it the 38?
38's the first year.
Yeah. I think it's
But
38.
other than certain ones with varieties on them,
Yeah.
um they really could care less that the mintages are so low. So again, I'm going to caution everybody about spending $80 on a roll of nickels. Because if you go back and look at the mintages prior to 1970, many of them are as low or lower than this year's will end up being.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
historically, they just don't do well because nobody at the end of the day really cares about Jefferson Nichols.
Yeah. THS is 48. Thank you. That's the one that I was thinking about.
Huh?
Yeah. So,
What is it
and
about the 48 nickel?
say again.
What is it about the 48 nickel?
It's another one of the key date or semi key dates.
Why?
Vintage, I think.
Okay, let's.
And Nick, it's fiscal. FISCAL. Not
Fiscal.
physical. Yeah. And
Let's get
fiscal is in money year.
fiscal.
You know what? That'd be really fun to have a banker do a
Nick, send me an email and I will shoot you my. Do you still have my email, right? Send me an email and I will shoot you my phone number and we'll have a little chitty chat.
powwow,
A powwow.
a shindig,
A, a
a hubbaloo, hubbaloo. Yeah, mintage. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. THS. I know there's a few of them that are kind of the ones you want to look for. And the thing that I like about the nickels is the nickels are
41.
You can find for fairly good prices really good nickels.
No, 49 you said. 49?
Oh, I said no, I couldn't remember if it was 49. He said 48.
48. So the 48D 48P has 89 million in change. 48D has 44 million in change. And the years prior to that are much lower. So
maybe it's not 48.
So yeah, I don't.
Because I know the 38's the first year. 50D is a key. 50 and
51.
50D.
So 51, which nobody cares about. 51D has 20 million. 51 has 28 million. Like I said, here, go to USA. I'm going to put USA Coin Book in the chat. Jefferson Nichols.
Excuse me.
You guys go in here and scroll up to everything prior to 1970. We'll just cut it off at 1970. And look at the mintages. And nobody gives a rip. Like you see people going through nickels, rolls of nickels, and there are a few that save everything prior to 1964 for whatever reason.
So, Nick, the thing that I was saying about the bankers is she was saying, let's get fiscal. It would be a lot of fun to have somebody dressed up as bankers singing, let's get fiscal.
Oh, yeah.
And have their ledgers and everything. I think it'd be funny. Anyway, I'm more
that way. And our nickel mintage this year is still going to be fairly high. Even though I think it's at like, for the Philadelphia, I think it's at like 69 million or something. I don't know, but
yeah, THS, there's a lot of information when it comes to coin dates and mintages. Plus,
but
not only is
if you look at last year's mintage and the year before and the year before that and the year before that, you'll kind of understand why they don't need to mint as many nickels this year. They probably should.
Yeah, between the 2 years, they've got like 1 billion coins.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
And the thing is nickels take a beating, but they're hard, so they last a long time.
They do last a long time. That's why we're still finding the 38s and change, and
they do really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
They don't strike very well. That's why it's so nice to get really good strikes on nickels, and why it's so hard to find anything above a 67, 68.
Yeah, dies wear out fast.
So people pick those up fast.
And maybe they just aren't making as many. Maybe the government knows something we don't know, and they're holding back steel. Maybe it's harder for them to get steel this year for whatever reason. And so they, because it does,
Yeah.
like the nickels, they're hard on the dies. You have to make more dies for nickels.
Have a good day, THS. Thanks for coming
Hi,
in, bro. Appreciate you.
THS.
Appreciate you a bunch.
Even though I can't see your chat. Bye.
I've got to figure out how to merge those two to where
I
people
know.
can see both. I don't think there's a way to do it yet. I can see it, but on my end, I can see both in the same. But it's just like
Yeah,
when you do
our high school
multi-streaming,
football
it's hard
team
to do it. Say again?
hammered the other team last night. They hammered them. It was a
Oh,
good.
we did. It was homecoming last night, and Bifrost, are you still on?
I love going to. So we have had season tickets. Our seats are in section C, which is right in the middle. Row 1, seats 3, 4, and 5.
Okay.
And we had the seats behind us too, the 3 seats right behind us, right on the 50-yard line. Well, my dad got these season tickets back in 1989. And there's a waiting list for our high school for these in the covered section, these season tickets. 1989, the first year they had them available for season ticket holders. So it's just been like this family tradition. We go to the high school football teams. Well, this year my he's not playing on varsity, he's playing freshman. But it's going to be so exciting when he does finally get to play on Friday nights, Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, I think I left because I had to come home and take care of my wife. She had that surgery, so
What? I didn't know that.
Oh, she had abdominal surgery, and they cut her
Mm.
pelvis bone to pelvis bone. Yeah, and you're medical. I'll send you a photo. You'll be like, oh.
Oh, I can imagine.
So it was pretty substantial. So I mean, she can't hardly even get up and. Hey, my mom's in here. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
She's leaving. she's back home taking care of going through some of my grandmother's effects after she passed away. So
It will be fun. This is the
love you, Mom.
first game of his that I've missed because he's up in the Portland area today. But I love watching him play. All my grandkids are into, well, 4 of them are into sports, really into sports. My little granddaughter Azalea, she's 5. She's gonna be doing mat club this year, so she's gonna be wrestling.
She's gonna be doing what? Oh,
she's gonna be wrestling. I don't think it's gonna work out so well, but we'll see. Because she's like super girly girl. I need to change this. I gotta put avatar up. Change avatar. Yeah, I think the first time that somebody pulls her hair, she's gonna be done with wrestling. I know, but she's in dance. She is in dance. She's so cute.
Every time I think of dance, I think of what's the you got to move it, move it. What's that show? Madagascar.
Oh yeah.
1, 2, yeah, shimmy, shake, Always makes me laugh. Too much fun. Speaking of football, there's a certain rivalry north of me. I have to watch a party prep. Oh, yep. You have a good one. Take care of yourself, Check. Enjoy.
Bye, Tech Stacker. Have a great day. The Ducks are playing today.
I was just about to say that.
Oregon
I was
Ducks.
just about to say that. Oregon Stacker was running his mouth last night.
Oh, was he? Is he see, I don't do that because I don't trust it. I don't trust our team that enough. I don't. Yeah, it's like my 49ers. I never smack talk about my 49ers except when they're in the Super Bowl. Then I'll do a little smack talking, but running up into, I just don't ever trust them. So
if I had $1, I would never ask the 49ers
this year.
If I had $1, I'd never ask the 49ers for change. because I've never gotten 4 quarters out of them.
Oh my god, it's true. Listen, they're so unpredictable. It's just, they're just
Yeah.
so unpredictable. And yeah, I mean, I love them. I've watched them since I was born. And
That's a slick team, UFOs. Go Oilers. Slick team.
but
LSU plays
I
Old
didn't
Miss
see what you
tonight.
said, Nick. Did you say you do have my email, Nick? Because yes, I do. Okay. So shoot me an email and I'll shoot you my phone number. Or versa versa, whatever.
It's a doubled die.
Doubled. That's right.
Too much fun. So what do you have going on today, Paula? What are your plans?
Ducks game. I'm probably gonna go see a movie.
What you gonna
I've
go see?
kind of gotten into
Hey, Invisible.
going to the movies by myself. Like it gives me some, like, it clears my head, you know what I mean?
Nice.
And I can, yeah, I've really gotten into doing that like a couple times a month, just
Hey,
completely checking out, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I
Southern
really would
Coin
like to
Hunter.
go see I really would like to go see that I am a racist, or am I racist? But I don't know if I want to pay for that.
Yeah, I don't. I heard about it, but I haven't really heard much about it.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to pay for it because I'm sure it'll be out for free. But there's all kind. The bad thing for me. I'm really into like horror movies and that horror. For those of you that may have misunderstood me,
You like those horror
horror
movies?
movies,
Yeah.
scary movies, whatever.
Nick says the
And
Reagan movie was really good.
yeah, that's another one I want to see too, but I don't know if I want to pay for it. Um, but
Thanks,
I
Dorica.
really like scary movies, especially right now. But the good scary movies are coming out around Christmas time.
It doesn't make
Which
sense.
doesn't make any sense.
No.
Yeah.
She says the Reagan movie's so worth it. Go see it.
Oh, I bet it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's one of the
I've
one
been
of the
to
few movies that's out right now that I want to go see. I haven't seen a movie for a while. Normally, Bifrost and I will go to movies. My wife doesn't like it because she gets pulled too fast.
I went to the Reagan Museum, um, and that we got a private tour. My brother-in-law and sister and myself, and it was amazing. It's the only one of the Reagan Library. It's one of the only presidential libraries I've ever been to.
The Reagan Library?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. When did that open? I can't remember.
I don't know, but it's really amazing. The view alone is spectacular. But I was there before all the fires that a few years ago that burnt all around it. So
Southern Coin Hunters, what Ike dollars do you need to complete your album?
Who?
In the other chat.
Oh.
Southern Coin Hunter
Are
says,
you doing an Ike Dollar album?
Me?
Yeah.
Mine's already done.
Oh, yours is done? Do you have all the varieties?
I'm missing.
I bet I know one. Yeah, I know one.
So I have the type 1, type 2, type 3,
Mm-hmm.
the type 1, the type 2. I have all the years, all the proofs. The special 76 one. But that's all that was in my book. So
Who else is doing a
Southern Coin Hunter says, I do have the Ike 72 graded. He just says he has 5 more. So let me know which ones you need. Never been to the Nixon Library, Nick. I've only been to the Reagan and the National Archives.
I haven't been in the National Archives either, and I really want to go.
We had to pull some documents for work about 7-8 years ago, and we got to fly up there and go through the archives.
That would be my problem, would be deciding what I want to archive, like what I want to research.
Well, we didn't have a
things.
choice. We were looking for very specific stuff, and it was just like.
No, I'm saying because I don't. You have to email them right ahead of time. Yeah.
Let them know what you're looking for. Let them know what volumes
you want. Right.
Put in special requests if it's in limited sections. There are some that really you have to have supervision. Some they just will make copies of the pages, and then you have to get rid of them when you leave.
So. Leah, hello, big brother.
Hello, big brother.
Who's big brother?
What are you saying?
Lee, I see Lee. Hello, big brother. Love you.
Oh, no.
So much.
Leah, that is my sister.
Leah.
Well, yeah, I didn't even see her come in.
Then I second guessed myself.
What's up, sis? Man, my whole family's been here today.
I know, it's a family reunion.
You know who won't show up? My wife.
I can't blame her.
Go do your thing. Just leave me alone. I'll call you when I need more coffee. Oh, too much fun. I got to get some stuff around the house clean today. And then I do want to plug a conversation that's happening tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, I believe. Tiger Stacker is going to be talking with Delegate Chris Pritt.
Who?
On Delegate Chris Pritt. He's the delegate from West Virginia.
Oh.
About a resolution 230. And I thought 230 was pretty cool because we're talking about the Privy 230. And you guys should go look it up. It's going to be a really interesting conversation. But without giving anything away, Stacking Surfer was the one who notified him of this. Ooh, what was that?
That was me trying to get a little dog out from under the table. Sorry.
Bam.
She's having issues.
So there was some legislation that was introduced that's going to be going up regarding the election and certain things that they are saying that if certain events happen, they're putting in some very specific language. It's pretty specific. So it's supposed to be a good conversation. They're going to have a 30-minute talk with the delegate from West Virginia, and then he's going to have a panel afterwards. So if you're interested in that, you want to see kind of where some of the political aspects of some things are, go check that out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know. I've got to talk to Tiger about some specifics. I don't know if we're going to do multi-stream or if we're just going to all stay on Tigers. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. I'm not sure who all the guests are. But should be a fun one. So go check out Tigers. You'll see the thumbnail of Trump, Kamala, and West Virginia. So go check that out. That's definitely something you're going to go and see. 73S copper clad proof, 73 silver clad, 73 clad proof, 74 silver clad proof, and the 74 clad proof. Email me those. I might have a couple that we can trade out. Email me those. Just do the exclamation point email, and then send me a list of those, and I'll see what I can do about helping you get those other coins. No problem. But yeah, so it'll be a fun conversation. Hey Jenny, how are you? Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
It's not really her birthday. I do have her birthday. It's in my phone. We did that. I mean, good grief, probably almost a year. But
I will only remember your birthday if you are friends with me on Facebook. That is the only way I will remember your birthday
there
'cause,
is nobody
Facebook
alive
reminds me.
that should forget mine. I want you to think
Why?
about who I am as a person and say, what would be the most fitting birthday for Frosty?
Who you are, December, I don't know.
Think about me.
I always think about you.
Oh,
Aw, that was a lie.
I know it was.
July 4th.
No, it is not July 4th. April 1st. Indeed.
Oh, that makes sense.
It does make sense.
That
Yeah.
makes sense. I
Nobody
was
should.
trying to think like Pearl
Hey, what's going
Harbor
on, Steve?
Day.
Yeah, everybody should remember mine. It's it's not hard to remember mine. Um, when I just moved to Texas and I was getting my new driver's license, and she looked at me, and it was on April 1st, and
Mm.
she's like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "I don't know whether to congratulate or apologize to you." And I was laughing, and we ended up telling
Can you
jokes the
imagine
whole
how
time
your
we were there.
mom must have felt when she had to tell everybody you were born?
Oh, hey, when I was
Nobody
born,
believed her.
the doctor slapped me on the cheeks and then on the ass and said, "Congratulations, man, you've had twins."
I
You know Rodney
thought you were
Dangerfield.
gonna say they slapped your mom.
Oh no, no.
Oh, jeez, that would be
Well,
terrible.
and because you know the old Rodney Dangerfield lines.
Yeah, I love him. He had Graves' disease.
Yeah, he's kind of one of my comedy heroes. I love his comedy.
So funny.
Such a good, yeah, such fun. All right, folks. Well, I'm going to be wrapping some things up. I've got to go get downstairs and take care of my wife, and
Yes, you do. Take care of your
yep,
wifey.
start taking care of some of that stuff. I'll be in and out periodically throughout the day.
Are you live tomorrow?
I am. I'll be up tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Eric's doing cleanup. So for those of you who didn't catch the morning,
Yes. Yes.
um,
He lost his carport.
minimal damage to the house. He's
Yeah.
good. Everybody's fine. Everybody's safe.
Yep.
There are some other people that experienced some trees and stuff that were down. But most of the members, I've got to reach out to 2 people today. Thanks for coming in, Mom. Love you bunches. Holler at me later if you can. She's had
Oh,
she's going through all of my grandmother's effects after she passed away.
ugh,
So she's
that's
been going
tough.
through photos, and we talked memories yesterday, and a lot of great memories from some of
Well,
the stuff
that's
she's gone
good.
through. Yeah. So you remember? Matter of fact, before I go, do you remember the little small things that you would put up to your eye, and they would have the picture in there?
Mm-hmm.
So she was talking to me, and she said, "Love you, sis. Take care." She was like, I ran across this thing, and you remember the thing you hold up to your eye? And I said, "Oh, it's Grandpa. He's bowling. He's wearing these pants. He's wearing this shirt." And she's like, the shirt might be wrong, but I think you're exactly right." And I remembered, like, it was so clear. Like, I could see this little thing. I haven't seen it in probably 35 years. And,
How
but I
funny.
remember looking through this because as a kid, this was my granddad. He was
Mm-hmm.
my hero, right? And so I remember carrying this thing around, and I would look at it. And they would all get them every time they bowled. And then she talked about a write up that they had in the paper about my grandfather and grandmother and how they really came into their own when they moved from California to Utah, and how they just went nuts. And my grandmother had a really nice write up in the local paper about what she had done, and it just fabulous memories to kind of go through and go, there's so much I didn't like. There was so much I knew about my grandmother, but there were so many stories that it was fun to have those conversations and go back and reflect.
Mm-hmm.
So, all
That's so
right,
cool.
folks. Well, I'm going to cut you all
Okay, love
loose.
you. Love you guys.
Love
Bye.
you,
Have a
Paula.
great
Take care.
weekend. See you
Let's set up a
tomorrow,
time to
probably.
talk restream, okay?
What?
I said let's set up a time to talk restream.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right, folks. Well, as always, I thank you all so much for coming in and hanging out with me today. Again, I'll be periodically in and out, checking in on streams and doing stuff. But my priority today is cleaning the house and taking care of my wife. So if you need anything, you know where to find me. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Reminder, don't forget, go over to Tiger Stackers, find that discussion, and come watch us and listen to his discussion with uh, Delegate Chris Pritt. It's going to be really interesting. If you haven't seen this, go up, look West Virginia Resolution 230, and read that. It's really interesting because of the stances and the protections that they're putting in place. We might see more of this across the nation, so be aware of that. All right, folks, love you. Take care, be well, be blessed, and I will see you in the streams. Don't forget about this. You can always click on that if you want to support the channel. All right, folks, love you. We'll see you later.